Dread and Breakfast, a podcast where we create scary stories using the horror role-playing game Dread. I'm Fabrice.
I'm Christine.
I'm Jacob.
And I'm Marissa. So if you're not familiar with Dread, that's okay. We put together this mini episode to give you a little bit of background. So Dread is an RPG published by The Impossible Dream. As with most RPGs, one person is the game master, the Dread master. Here we like to call them the Dreaded. They are in charge of creating the scenario and running the game, and everyone else plays a character.
Yes, but unlike other RPGs, characters don't have stats in this game. Instead, you make your character by answering a series of questions that are written by the Dreaded. So this questionnaire provides a skeleton for the characters that we as the players get to flesh out. So these questions can be as vague or as specific as the Dreaded wants, and they can include things like, what is your biggest fear? Or why do you always carry a flashlight? Or what is your deepest secret that you've never told a soul? And our answers help not only create our characters, but can also help the Dreaded author the campaign.
So once the characters are made, playing the game is actually pretty simple. The Dreaded introduces the scenario, and the players choose how they react. But unlike other RPGs, successes and failures for these actions are determined not by rolling dice or doing math. You simply make a pull from a tower that is similar to, yet legally distinct from a Jenga tower. If that pull is successful, you are successful. If that pull fails and you accidentally knock over the tower, you are removed from the game, which just means that the Dreaded gets to decide how you're removed from the game and what that means.
If the tower is super unsteady, or you're a coward and don't want to risk it, you can always refuse to make a pull from the Jenga tower, the tower that is similar to yet legally distinct from Jenga. If you don't make the pull, however, that means you don't succeed in what you were trying to do, and usually there's some sort of penalty. You can also, if you want, choose to intentionally knock the tower over. This means that you succeed in whatever you were trying to do, but you do die in the process. You're removed from the game somehow. But in that case, you do get to choose your dramatic exit.
And that's basically it. It's super simple, like we said, it's super fun, and as you can imagine, it can get super tense, but we are so excited to start sharing our horrifying stories with you.
Yes, and our first episode drops on October 30th, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it.
If you want to learn more about the game, you can find a link to it on our website, dndbpod.com.
There you can also learn more about us, like what our favorite breakfast foods are, who our intern is, the fact that we have an intern, where our music comes from, stuff like that.
You can also find us on Instagram at dndbpod and on Twitter at dreadandbfast. And with that, we will see you all dreadfully soon.